Hey guys, CNH Small Engine here back again. We got another quick video here for you guys today. This is a review for a Troy Bilt two-stroke string trimmer here today for you guys. We got in front of you here is a Troy Bilt two-stroke Jumpstart TB22EC. E as in Edward, C as in Charlie on here, so it's a TB22E as in Edward, C as in Charlie. These things have the newer revised revised input on the back for the starters on here. They call it a jump start in the back here, guys. So if you have a adapter, you can put an adapter in the back of these things and put your jump start tool on here. I'm just gonna get a better shot here so you can see it. Here's what it looks like in the back right there. You have a jump start adapter. You stick your like say you have an electric drill, and you put your drill bit adapter into the back right here, and you stick it in there, and it'll start the machine over in a relatively short amount of time. So that's one of the newer features they have on these cheaper machines that are for that, to start them up quicker if you actually want that option on your machine when you originally purchased it. Because the reason I was seeing some people buy these things with that system on it was because they were claiming it was easier to pull over because you no longer have to manually pull your recoil unit on here for that. And unfortunately, if you're an older person and you don't have the strength, or you have arthritis to try to pull over your machine, it might be difficult to do that. So I believe that's why they came up with that design, or that was one of the contributing factors to why they actually came up with that design, because it's easier to start if you have the tool to use a machine by having a drill bit with the adapter on the end right here. Because all you do is put your drill bit adapter into your electric drill, stick it in a jump start hole, and pull it over using the actual force of the actual electric drill right there for that to crank the engine over at a sufficient amount of speed to start the machine up for that. Okay, what we did on this machine here today was we installed a brand new gas tank on here, brand new gas tank, brand new fuel lines and carb assembly, plus the intake airbox gasket. You can't really see it because the airbox is covering that thing up on it right now, but we definitely replaced that. They do not have a intake gasket per se on the back side of the carb. All it is like a red rubber O-ring on the back here, so you don't have to replace that specifically on there for that. However, they do have a paper gasket on the front of the airbox, where it mates to the airbox with the carb on the front portion right here. So you have one gasket on the front, no gaskets on the back other than a reddish O-ring gasket where it actually mates to the intake air block right here for that. So you don't have to replace that one in the back, so don't worry about ripping any back gaskets on this one right here. However, you do have to replace the one on the front because it basically gets baked onto the carb over time from the actual heat coming off the engine right there specifically for that. So always replace the intake gasket where it actually made to the air block itself right here for that. We also replaced the actual spark plug on here. You have to use their MTD or Troy Bilt equivalent spark plug because they have the actual part number listed on the outside of the spark plug here, guys. So always use MTD's genuine part for that one as well too. And here's what the intake, or I should say the actual carb and the gas tank look like here. I really took off here. Plus we also got the bags right here as well too for that. The reason we bought the intake gasket, right, that's the actual carb and the actual fuel tank together, is basically the fuel lines they have on these machines, guys. My Tygon lines wouldn't fit properly on these ones right here, so we went ahead and ordered the tank and the carb assembly by themselves as a separate order right there, specifically from MTD. So anytime you got a job and you're working on an MTD one similar to this, just be aware of the fact that if you have a machine that has the black lines on here and also like a clear or blue line, you can see these ones right here. This one has the black lines that's currently on it right now, plus a blue, like an aquamarine blue line on here as well too. You have to replace the actual fuel tank and the carb assembly as a kit or a pair, whatever you want to call it right there, specifically to do the job right. Because these things are relatively cheap, guys. The gas tank's only about, I think, about 10-12 bucks. The carb's about another, I think about 25. I think about 25 bucks. I think I got that last week. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's about 25 bucks. So it's always a good idea to replace them both as a kit. the reason we do it is to satisfy any kind of warranty related issues out there. It's a lot easier to replace the actual carbon tank and do the job thoroughly and completely the first time, rather than having a customer come back and say they have a problem because the fuel lines are cracking over time, because these fuel lines are extremely cheap, guys. I don't like telling that, but these fuel lines they got on these new machines like this Troy-Bilt, they're extremely cheap. They're not good Tygon lines. They're just, I have no idea who actually makes them, but they're just probably some kind of a Chinese company out there. And they're relatively cheap fuel lines, to say the least. Okay, we'll give you a shot of the bottom of the engine here as well too, plus the information for it. This is MTD part number. Let me see if I can zoom in here for you guys. Get you a better shot. Let me see. There we go, right there. 41 C as in Charlie, D as in dog, Z as in zebra, 22, C as in Charlie, 766. With the model number clearly marked, TB22EC. Serial number starting in 1E27. So there's your information for the actual spec and model number, the more detailed number. And here's another shot of the front cover right here. Troy-Bilt two-stroke or two-cycle jump start. TB22E is in Edward, C in Charlie. And you have your kill switch up front here as well too. Got your on and off. And you also have your adapter for the boom up here as well too, for your multi-combi changeover kits that you can buy directly from the manufacturer. So you can unhook this piece right here and put on like a hedge clippers, a little leaf blower attachment on here, or any other attachment they specifically make for this one specific machine right here as well too. Plus you have your information from the Troy-Bilt website right here. Please visit troybilt.com for videos for operation and setup. They have their website clearly marked on the actual boom shaft if you do need to look up any kind of help or tutorials about your specific machine as well too. We're giving a shot of the back of the engine right here as well too. There you go. There's the jump start adapter placed in the back right here as well too. We'll give you another shot of the side. Here's your muffler assembly underneath the actual shroud right here as well too. They have a relatively large muffler on these ones right here, so hopefully over time they will not clog up if somebody's out there puttering around your yard. We always recommend using real good high quality pure gasoline whenever you're mixing your two-stroke oil mix with your machine. We recommend Opti 2 mix, and we also recommend using pure gasoline that does not have any kind of ethanol additive built into it as well too, because pure gasoline is 100% pure gasoline. It does cost more. I do have a local fuel station about 10 minutes from me here in western Pennsylvania actually sells pure gas. However, it's about $5 a gallon out there. I think it's like $5.15 for like 90, I think it's like 93 or 94 octane. But I normally go up there and fill up a 5-gallon gas tank, and that usually lasts me for about a couple weeks, because I always like putting pure gas into a two-stroke because it makes the engine run stronger out there. Plus you have less chances of fuel deterioration in the fuel system as well too under for that. So we'll go ahead and get this thing fired up here for you guys. You can see this thing running here, so let me put my camera down real quick to fire up the machine here. Okay, we're back, guys. Got the machine running here for you. Fire up in one pull. Brand new car, brand new fuel system on this machine. We'll go ahead and gun it up. Brand new spark plug as well too. Go ahead and gun it up here for you. We'll give you a shot of the carb on here as well too while it's gunning up. Flip it around here, clean the other side. Get a shot of the actual boom shaft down here for the cutting head. So right now the machine's ready to go for the customer. We'll go ahead and shut it off here for you. Works perfectly fine, no problems with it whatsoever, and it's basically ready to go back to the customer right now, so they should be 100% satisfied with the quality of the job. Anytime you have a fuel system related problem over here, guys, it's more likely, especially in the cheaper models like this one right here, it's simply more cost effective to simply take the carb off and the fuel tank on it and replace them both in tandem, because trying to clean out the carb, rebuilding it, putting it back on, and hoping for the best, you have about a 50-50 chance of it not working properly. So in my opinion, especially on some of the cheaper machines like this one right here, it's always a good idea to replace the carb, you know, and you know, say you actually did it on there for that, because if you have a brand new carb on there, guaranteed it's going to be starting up perfectly fine the next time you use it, as long as your engine has proper compression ratio, you don't have any kind of scoring on the exhaust side, and your ignition system is working perfectly fine as well too. Because you have to have three things: you have to have a timed spark, you have to have proper compression for upper and lower portions of the cylinder on a two-stroke, plus you also have to have the proper fuel mix air ratio for your two-stroke as well too, guys. So try to remember that if you ever have any kind of problems with your two-stroke string trim relief blower or whatever you have out there for that. So if anybody has any comments, questions, whatnot, as usual, guys, feel free to leave me a message here, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day.